Hi guys, welcome back. Now I've had a lot of questions recently from subs and people watching, which is brilliant. I like that a lot. But what I thought I'd do is make a little video covering the kind of questions I've been getting quite a lot. Common question is what kind of gear is right for snorkeling, freediving, that kind of thing in cold waters like here in Scotland. Now, I'm not a massive expert, but I'll show you what I use, why I use it, the kind of things that I think works, and just so that hopefully this is helpful to anyone wanting to get into it. So consider this video for sort of beginners, people who are looking to buy their first kit, or seen these kind of videos online and want to get involved. So watch along, I'll explain. First and foremost, I'll start off with fins. You need nice big long fins. Right? The reason you need long fins is they're more efficient. You use less energy. Because you're doing a lot of breath holding, it's important that the movements you make use as little energy as possible, and that's why freediving fins are always really long. A couple of different kinds. This is another sort. So this is plastic. It's a bit stiffer and it doesn't return the energy as well, but it's very durable. Aeroplane going overhead. Very durable and quite a lot cheaper. And the carbon fibre type. These have a lot more return on the energy, but they're quite expensive and they're quite brittle. So if you don't really need high performance, go for the plastic. If you're going to be in shallow water looking for lobsters, things like that, where they're going to get bashed about and scraped, definitely go for the plastic. Save yourself the heartache of wrecking the nice carbon fibre. However, if you want that bit more performance, definitely splash out the extra £100 and get these. The foot part is always this kind of foot, the full foot. We don't use the strapped foot. This is the kind of strapped foot fin that scuba divers like to use. Absolutely useless. They're really heavy, they've got very low return on the energy. Leave this kind of thing to our bubble blowing friends. So if you're starting out, you don't need anything high performance, plastic, long, full foot. A bit more fancy, carbon fibre. Okay, that's the fins sorted out. Next thing, let's put them out of the way. Right, next thing's a wetsuit. Best kind of wetsuit to get is what's called an Apnea Zipless wetsuit. So it's a two-piece, comes as a pair of trousers and a jacket, and there's no zip at all. You have to squeeze your way into the suit, put the trousers on first, jacket goes over the top. Because there's no zips, it bonds very closely to your skin, keeps you warm for hours. The material to go for is called open cell. In this open cell suit, on the outside of a wetsuit, there's like a nylon fabric coating. Open cell doesn't have that on the inside. It's just bare neoprene. Now you can't put that on dry because it sticks to your skin. You could never put this suit on just dry. So what you do is you take a bottle of soap, shoot it into a bottle of water like this, and then you hose down the inside of the suit first with soapy water and then slide in. It's quite fun, but on a cold day it can be pretty grim getting into these things. Now there's one other little secret of this suit that I've recently discovered, and it's this thing. If you're easily offended, look away now because it's about to get graphic. Look. That's called a pissette. Now, that is literally a one-way valve for your willy. And like I say, this is going to get a bit graphic, so easily offended, skip to another channel, or another one of my videos where I don't talk about rude things. You put your willy in there whilst you're diving. And it's got like a flat end. So when you need to go, you just go, and it just comes straight out the end. The seawater doesn't go back inside. Happy days, comfortable diving. Unfortunately, this is only one for the boys. I don't think there's a ladies' version of this technology yet, but it is brilliant, well worth it. One last thing about the trousers, they sometimes have like long john straps, and sometimes they're just trousers. If you really want the absolute protection from the cold, go for the long john, because it's one less area that, it just holds everything up tighter. But for summertime, I use the trouser kind. This is 5mm thick, so 5mm. Open cell, and this is called an apnea style suit. You'll often find these suits have pads on the front, and the reason for the pads on the chest is for loading spear guns, because when you pull the spear gun in, you rest the butt of the gun on your chest and then pull the rubbers down. So most apnea suits you'll find have pads just here. This one doesn't have too much. As for brands, there's loads of different brands and they're cut into different sort of types, feet that suit you. I mean, I've had Picasso suits over the years, been very, very good. That's definitely a brand I would go back to. Maris is always a solid brand, all the other main brands will do you right. But the good thing about this two-piece system is you can buy the trousers and the top from different brands. So if you're particularly tall or a bit unusual shape, you're not constrained to the off-the-shelf sizes, and you don't have to go to tailor-made solutions, which can be really expensive. So buy the trousers that suit the bottom half and the jacket that suits your top half. So I've currently got Salvimar trousers because they sell it with a ready-made pissette thing. But you can buy these and add them onto any suit as well with a bit of home plastic surgery. So that's the wetsuit. 5mm trousers, 7mm jacket. The 7mm will do you for all year round. I mean, you could do an hour, 2-hour session in midwinter in Scotland. Absolutely no bother with that. We top that off with socks. Don't use boots because they don't fit nicely in the fins, not comfortable. So use socks. They get wrecked. They don't like being walked on, these things, so they're more of a consumable part. You'll get a few months out of a sock and then you have to replace them because they go to holes. In the summer you just walk bare feet, put them on at the last minute at the water's edge. Top tip, carry some flip-flops and bring them with you on your buoy. Mask and snorkel, simple. Go for the simplest stuff you can get. Snorkel should be bendy. You don't need any of these valves or any of these things on the top. Waste of time, does you no good at all. No valve here, it's pointless. Because you dive with it out of your mouth. So it's just like that. As soon as you're underwater, you just take it away. And you don't need a clip, you just tuck it under the mask strap. Pop that on like that. When you're diving, you just take that, put it under there like that. It's bendy because if it catches on anything, like kelp or whatever, it just flexes. Don't get a solid one. Simple. The mask needs to be what we call low volume. So that's less airspace as possible in there. Reason is, as you go down, the air in there compresses. And you need to equalise that compression by using air you've got in your lungs. So the less of that you have to expend on equalising your mask, the better. So buy a mask that's from a decent brand. This one's a Maris one. Loads of choices. Find one that suits your face shape. But make sure it's low volume. And these kind of goggle eye things, they look like they would restrict your vision, but they don't. You can actually see perfectly through that. So low volume mask, simple flexible snorkel, and any brand would do. If you're spending more than 15 quid on your snorkel, you're wasting money. And a good pair of gloves. Good pair of gloves, because generally, if you're like me, you'll be hunting around for things, reaching around, so the gloves take a bit of abuse. So get some nice thick gloves. However, if you're into photography, you've got lots of little buttons and things to fiddle with, so you want the thinnest gloves you can get away with, but then your hands go a bit cold, so up to you to find your way with that one. Now lastly, you need to take some kind of buoy with you. They're a bit of a pain because you're towing this thing around and it gets tangled up, but usually for sort of spearfishing buoy is the best kind of thing. You've got loads of little places to clip bits and pieces onto it. You can, this would be for your spear guns under here, things like that. You've got lots of other little bits. You can put a flag in the back if you're in a boat traffic area. Always have loads of extra carabiners. You always need them for hanging your GoPro on, hanging some flip-flops or whatever. And even if you've got a main catch bag, always have a second one. And just have a little emergency catch bag. The reason I do that is if I find a brown crab and I've already caught something else, you need the brown crab in a separate bag, because brown crabs just destroy everything. So if you've got a nice juicy lobster in your catch bag, come across a brown crab, get out catch bag number 2. Doesn't need to be a big one. And it's also handy for, putting bits and pieces. You might find something cool on the seabed, have another bag for that. And that just lives away in a little pocket like that. And then the main catch bag can just hang underneath. So you pay out the line, it's floating line, and this floats. If you lose it, it just stays on the surface. And all you do to lock it off, you just make a loop in the line like that. You pass it through one of these holes, pull it out, loop it over the end, and that's then locked off. So you unwind as much as you want, and then you tow that out at the depth you're going to be diving in. It does get a bit of a pain, but it's worth having. My memory card just ran out, so I had a mad panic to find another one. Anyway, that's a quick rundown of freediving and snorkeling kit for cold water, not for high performance depth athletic stuff, but for sort of shallow water, coastal hunting, photography, spearfishing, that kind of uses, and just scenic snorkeling and freediving. So quick recap: basic flexible snorkel, no valves, simple, low volume mask, long full foot fins, carbon fibre, high performance, more expensive, more brittle, plastic, slightly less performance, cheaper, stronger, long full foot. Wetsuits, 7mm all year round, 5mm will probably do you. Open cell, apnea cut, zipless. Trousers, 5mm, 7mm, open cell. And that's it. Feel free to keep asking questions. I like when you do that. It's always nice. Glad you guys have been enjoying the videos. I've been getting loads of good comments lately, so thank you. If you did find that helpful, if you want any more information, is anything else you want me to go through, I'd be more than happy to. So keep watching the videos. Glad you all like them, and I will see you again in the water really soon. Cheers guys, bye-bye.